He said that he had your number because the telephone line. He said you needed a reason. He said there ain't much time. You kept trying to avoid it. He kept knocking on the door. You didn't flash it was over. You were a prisoner of war. I'm just way to lose. You had lots of waiting. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. And she was playing a champion.
Hey guys, it's Pastor Randy Simmons from Remnant Church. I am going to be doing our Saturday, actually this is for Monday, our back in the day video. This is on Saturday I'm doing this, but there's a reason, okay? So I'm doing this on Monday because this is a big, major video. And in music, I'm going to just jump right into this, okay? Because it's a pretty long one. In music in general, there have always been key moments when things changed. This has been true in both secular and Christian music. There seems to be a separation between what have been called the pretty music, is what I like to call it that, and the real music. In the secular world, there were bands like the Beach Boys, Jan and Dean, James Taylor, Chicago, Kansas, all those groups that, I mean, Kansas kind of rode the line, but they were the ones that they followed societal norms. They never clashed with the expected. But then, guys, then there were the others that confronted the norms of society. They spoke about social issues or personal struggles. In the secular world, there were bands like Metallica, Ozzy, The Who, The Stones, Heart, the hair bands, all those bands, the grunge bands, all those bands that they clashed with the norms, the pretty people. In Christian music, in the Christian music world, this was also happening. And I mentioned about Steve Taylor last time, and he was one of those figureheads that clashed with the norms and brought the real world into the Christian music world. One of the founding groups that did this was a band that I want to introduce to you, and it is the band called Resurrection Band, also known as Rez Band or Rez. It was a Christian rock band formed in 1972, and they were part of the Jesus People USA movement. They formed a Christian community in Chicago, and most of its members have continued in that community to this day. Known for their blend of blues rock, hard rock, Christian band, their Christian band Resurrection Band is credited as one of the forerunners of what is called today Christian metal genre. Christianity Today called them the most influential band in Christian music history. Following their debut in 1978, the band's greatest popularity was during the early 80s, but later in the decade, they received some crossover success when they had 2 music videos featured on MTV. That's quite a statement. Before their relocation to Chicago, the name Resurrection Band was chosen, and the band became a primary focus of the community's ministry. After arriving in Chicago, the band recorded 2 independent cassettes, just to kind of give you an idea of how far back this goes, that were given away after their concerts, something I personally did with some of my music. The churches were deeply skeptical of Christian rock, especially the borderline heavy metal that Resurrection Band specialized in. 4 years later, thanks to an $8,000 gift from a friend, Resurrection Band recorded their first album, Awaiting Your Reply, over a 2-week period of marathon all-night sessions. Although the band had completed the album, including the cover art, no Christian record label would risk releasing it, as the Led Zeppelin Jefferson Airplane-inspired music was considered much too controversial for the Christian market at that time. Star Song Records, which was a division of Word, were warned away from the project by other gospel music executives, but the tiny label had nothing to lose, so they signed the band and released the record as it was. To everyone's surprise, Awaiting Your Reply hit big in the Christian market and reached number 6 on the gospel album sales chart. Resurrection Band would eventually become known for grappling with a variety of social and political ills in its music, from the evils of the military-industrial complex to the corrupting influence of American materialism, racism, homelessness, AIDS, drug addiction, prostitution, and many other issues that the band personally confronted in their day-to-day ministry in their urban community in Chicago. While the mainstream Christian press was still adapting to the idea of Christian hard rock, both albums were highly praised by alternative Christian music newspapers, and their leading publication, Harvest Rock Syndicate, awarded both 5 stars. In addition, Resurrection Band began receiving greater airplay on radio stations that played Christian rock. Some of those that were played, they were played at night. In spite of the increased attention, Rez Band funneled any and all profits back into the Jesus People community, as members held all monies in common according to the example set by the New Testament church. Live Bootleg was the first album to be released under the band's shortened moniker of Rez Band, a colloquialism created by fans, and it also featured a number of songs that directly addressed issues of concern to high school age seat listeners. The latter focus would continue for as long as the band recorded music. After a number of successful tours throughout the United States and Europe in the early 80s, with a variety of Christian hard rock acts, including a high-profile tour in '82 with the Swedish quartet Jerusalem. Man, that is a big, big band. Rez Band was viewed by both fans and music critics as a preeminent Christian hard rock band. Moderately keyboard-driven, the album reflected the band's increasing interest in new wave music, with the first single, SOS. That was with the album that was called SOS, featuring almost no guitar whatsoever. Although it does feature a speak and spell, SOS shot to the top of the Christian rock singles chart, staying there for several weeks, and in doing so, the band attracted an entirely new audience. This is when they moved. And the thing about Rez Band I loved was they started out in the 70s, so they were doing more of the, as it said, the Jefferson Airplane, Led Zeppelin, almost psychedelic rock. And they adapted as the music styles required them to adapt. That's something I always respected with them. The brief taste of mainstream success had a major influence on the band's next album, Between Heaven and Hell, which jettisoned most of the new wave styles of Hostage in favor of radio-friendly hard rock more akin to their Colors period, which was kind of a psychedelic rock. To that end, Rez returned to the studio in '88. Result was Silent Screams, a hybrid of blues, hard rock, and metal that served as a musical blueprint for all of the band's successive releases. Sporting unsettling cover art, Silent Screams deals forcefully with social concerns such as abortion, greed, racial profiling, even terrorism, proving that as they did with confronting apartheid in '79, the band was once again ahead of the curve. In 2000, Rez Band brought almost 30 years of music and ministry to a close with a farewell performance, leaving behind them a transformed Christian music industry and a platform on which future Christian musicians could build. Glenn Kaiser, the lead singer for most of Rez Band's music. He came out as a Chicago-based Christian rock, Christian blues musician, singer, songwriter, and pastor. Man, talk about a title. Glenn was raised as a nominal Lutheran and used drugs before he became a born-again Christian around the time of his 18th birthday. He was quoted as saying, "Nothing else gave me so much happiness or sense of purpose until I asked Jesus Christ to come into my heart and become absolute Lord of my life." Glenn married the former Resurrection Band member Wendy Herron, who became Wendy Kaiser, and they have one son, Aaron, and 3 daughters. So in 1999, he formed the blues rock trio, Glenn Kaiser Band, or Glenn Kaiser Blues Band, which with former bassist Roy Montour and drummer Ed Bialak. Hope I'm pronouncing it right. Glenn's solo career is centered around the blues, especially with handmade cigar box guitars and other found object instruments, but also with lap steel, acoustic and electric guitars, and harmonica. His extensive discography, now think of this, he's already had incredible success with Rez Band, and here he goes off and does solo, and he is up to date right now. He has recorded over 35 single or solo recordings. It includes projects of rock and roll, R&B, worship, and American roots. He's toured with people like Daryl Mansfield and some other artists that were founders of the Christian rock label, a Christian rock music style. In 2012, Glenn and blues harmonica great Joe Felisko recorded their live concert at the final Cornerstone Festival. And that festival is one of the founding festivals that Glenn and Rez Band, Jesus People USA, established. And they continued to share the stage with when schedules allowed. In 2011, the project Cardboard Box was inspired by the plight of Chicago's homeless and symbolic use of found object instruments like cigar box guitars. Its proceeds are given as benefits to a Northside homeless shelter called CCO. I wanted to do this right now. I wanted to get this done ahead of time because it's such a major aspect of the Christian music scene. And as I said, I'm going to still do some of the softer music, but what I wanted to get across in today's video is that at this point in the music of Christian music, there was a split similar to what happened in the secular music industry. There was a split. You had the softer, mellower music like Amy Grant, PFR, Burlap to Cashmere, Rich Mullins. These guys, they did their music. They were more for the softer listener. Amy kind of she rode the line there, and I give her credit because she experimented and she tried doing a little harder sound. She never crossed into actually rock, metal, or hard rock or anything like that. But she really did that, and I give her credit. She really stepped out of the box. But these guys, like I said, Amy Grant, Rich Mullins, PFR, even Switchfoot, and some of the bands that started out what was the band's name? I'm trying to remember the band's name. Begin with a D. I can't remember the name of the band. No, they were worship. Delirious. Thank you. Whoever said that. Delirious and some of these other groups that came out at that time, Stephen Curtis Chapman, they came out and they were more for the easy listening. Okay, it never really were my style. although I like some of Stephen Curtis Chapman's music. But the harder stuff, and borderline right in between there were the groups that were kind of breaking ground in the area of rap. DC Talk, Toby Mac. Those guys, they came out and they kind of broke ground in that area, crossed over, man. A lot of those guys, they crossed over in the secular world. But the hard rock music, man, it was, some of it was commercial. I will say that. I feel Stryper was commercial. Stryper was just a gimmick that they used. And they reached people. I'm not lessening that. All these videos are just my opinion, okay? But Stryper became a gimmick, which triggered off a whole bunch of Christian bands that came out that were just glorified hair bands, just different versions of the same thing, different versions of Stryper. Now there were some great musicians there in that era. One of the musicians, great guitarist, vocalist, named Ken Tamlin. I'm going to put some of his stuff up later on in other videos. But Ken Tamlin, he incredibly talented. Groups like Guardian, another group that really, really broke ground. Guardian, White Cross, those bands, even though they were of that era, they really showed their musical skill, their musical talent. But today was all about Rez Band. We're going to get into some of those other groups later on. So I hope you were blessed. Again, I know this is a long video. I tried to make the intro as short as I could. This is a long video because we're dealing with a lot of music. And over those years, and we're talking easily 30 years of Christian music, not even including Glenn's influence and his music of which was blues rock. Okay, Glenn broke ground in that, man. He really showed himself as an incredible guitarist, incredible musician. So I hope you guys are blessed. I love you. As I'm always telling you, keep up the fight.
So proud, some said something about ears to ear. Faith and truth becoming clear. Everything I've come to know points me to my need for you. Everything I've come to know points me to my need for you. surprised. Mommy says she don't love Daddy anymore. Daddy says Mommy is walking out the door. Sister says she's getting married to escape. Brother says enlisting sounds just great. Me, I don't know who to believe. Me, I don't know how to maintain the world that used to be. 'Cause everyone is leaving me. He said that he had your number, the current telephone line. He said you needed a reason. He said there ain't much time. You kept trying to avoid it. He kept knocking on the door. You didn't realize it was over. You were a prisoner of war. I'm just waiting to lose you had. That's waiting. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. And she was playing a champion, and you must go for her out. She was so much lasting, someone had strung her out until the fire had reached her. That's when the lights came on. That's when she got off her habit. That's when you took her on home. I'm just ready to lose you had. That's waiting. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. I'm just ready to lose you had. That's waiting. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes. He said that he had your number, the cousin telephone line. He said you needed a reason. He said there ain't much time. You kept trying to avoid it. He kept knocking on the door. You didn't flash, it was over. You were a prisoner of war. I'm just way to lose. You mad. That's the way it is. It's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. And she was playing a champion.
Mommy says she don't love Daddy anymore. Daddy says Mommy is walking out the door. Sister says she's getting married to escape. Brother says enlisting sounds just great. Me, I don't know who to believe. Me, I don't know how to maintain the world that used to be. 'Cause everyone is leaving me. Everyone is leaving me. Everyone is leaving me. When you're 8 and your family's dying, when you're hurt but too scared to cry, what on earth can you do to find release? God, what is happening to me? 'Cause me, I don't know who to believe. Me, I don't know how to maintain the world it used to be. 'Cause everyone is leaving me. Everyone is leaving me. Everyone is Daddy shrugs and slowly turns away. Mommy says, God, why did it end this way? Can our family really die so fast? Is love a thing that just won't last? Me, I don't know who to believe. Me, I don't know how to receive the love that used to be. 'Cause everyone is leaving me. Everyone is leaving me. these fields, I take my pleasure. Force of will, no matter what may come. When will they face their own disaster? They live a lie, not their son. This is the day, my declaration. I'm just a memory. I am gone. It is my right. I am free of the hold they had on me. Here I'll be satisfied. Here I am alive. I'll drink the cup to the full. The world is mine beyond their discretion. It is my right. I will be free of the hold they had on me. Here I'll be satisfied. Here I am alive. Across these fields I will be free of the walls and misery. Here I'll be satisfied. Here I am Mommy says she don't love Daddy anymore. Daddy says Mommy is walking out the door. Sister says she's getting married to escape. Brother says enlisting sounds just great. Me, I don't know who to believe. Me, I don't know how to maintain the world that used to be. 'Cause everyone is leaving me.
He said that he had your number, to cut the telephone line. He said you needed a reason. He said there ain't much time. You kept trying to avoid it. He kept knocking on the door. You didn't think it was over. You were a prisoner of war. I'm just way to lose. You had lots of waiting. That's when the love comes down. That's when the love comes down. And she was playing a champion.
What did you say? What did you do when they asked you, who are you? What did you tell them who you know? Or did you hear that rooster crow? How will you answer? And where will you go? Did you hear that rooster crow? In the alley, in the street, in the schoolyard, do you take the heat? Did you hide it? Who do you know? Did you hear that rooster crow? You say you're walking that Calvary Road, but what are you letting everybody know? Does your light shine? Or does it show? Or do you hear that rooster crow? What did you say? What did you do when they asked you, who are you? Did you tell them who you know? Or did you hear that rooster crow? lay my burdens down. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Since I lay my burdens down, I feel better, so much better. Since I laid my burdens down, I feel better, so much better. Since I laid my burdens down, the cross before me and the world behind me. Since I laid my burdens down, the cross before me, the world behind me. Since I laid my burdens down. I'm going to heaven to be with Jesus. Since I laid my burdens down, I'm going to heaven to be with Jesus. Oh, since I laid my burdens down. Glory, glory, I laid my burdens down. Yes, since I laid my burdens down. Since I laid my burdens down.
Things didn't turn out quite the way I planned them. I find myself sitting here, broken in my rebellion. I walked away from a place where I was loved. I walked away to do all that I want. I'm not worthy to be called his son again. I have brought shame and disgrace in my sin. I will arise and return to my home. I will arise, no longer be his son. Who do I see running to meet me on this road? With joy and tears, he takes me in his loving arms. Who do I hear crying? My child has come back home. He is alive, prepare a feast. My child has come back home. I'm just a prodigal.
nothing can steal you away. You'll always be my son. Who is this with arms outstretched, a sacrifice of grace? Though I may have